This is the Improve and Have Fun podcast. My name is Paul PVP Perez, and on this podcast, I improve myself by having fun along the way with the hopes of encouraging you to do the same. I improve myself by doing things that I enjoy doing and taking repeated action on those things to get to some specific level or just to level up. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be the thing that I enjoy doing, and I've learned that through pain, you can also grow that way. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about my goals for 2018. And the last two episodes, we've basically been tying up 2017 with the episode before last, where I talked about the outcome of my goals for 2017. And in the very last episode of last year, it was a mixtape, so we could go out on a little party vibe. You can go back on and check out those episodes. You can do so by going to the website, improveandhavefun.com. And on this episode, I'm going to dig into the 2018 goals. Goal number 1, this is one of 13, by the way, is doing more of what already works and not taking on new stuff. I'm going to just continue expanding on the podcast, continue expanding on the reselling, and I'm going to go a little bit more into how I'm going to be doing that in this episode. Goal number 2 is to travel. Last year, that was the goal that I had set that I failed miserably at, and only went one place for the whole year. And I've never been one to travel much, but I want to travel to Jamaica, Lord willing, to Florida, to California. I want to go to Texas. I want to go to Arizona, visit family. I want to take a cruise. I want to see if I could even get to the Dominican Republic. The birthplace of my mother and father that I haven't been to in, I think it's over 30 years. It's been a really, really long time. Goal number 3, sleep 6 to 8 hours daily. Vegan diet, less processed foods. If I can avoid them, even better. But I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect. No oils, and a little gluten is okay. I recently discovered that avocado and nuts, and I love avocado and I love nuts, all kinds, my favorite being cashews, really were the culprit in raising my cholesterol. My cholesterol has been an issue for a really long time, even when I've gone on a vegan diet, but I've really figured this out. And the way I'm going to go ahead and get concrete proof, I'm going to try this for a month and go get a blood test and see if it's true. And I think it is, actually. I think the results are going to be what I'm looking for. That basically all this avocado and these nuts that I've been having, even on a vegan diet, is the culprit in keeping my cholesterol high. But like I said, that remains to be seen, but I'll let you know for sure. Goal number 4 is continue the daily happiness routine, which is 14 steps. And if I don't hit all 14 every day, that's okay. But try to. And those 14 steps, I will ask you to refer back to, like I said, 2 episodes ago where I was talking about my 2017 goals and the outcome. And I list that daily happiness routine in there. Goal number 5 is to look forward to fear, problems, uncomfortable situations. This is where you will grow. Now, this goal is, I would say this goal is number 5, and goal number 1 are 2 really new goals for this year. The last 3 that I've listed regarding the traveling, the sleep, and the diet, those are kind of, goals that I had last year, and they're just spilling over into this year, but a little bit more refined after having a year of experience with those goals. So this goal is a new goal. In 2017, and I'm going to write a blog post about this, I did 3 things that totally got me out of my comfort zone that I was afraid to do, and I am so glad that I did those 3 things. So more of that, more uncomfortable situations, when I have a challenge at work, when I have a challenge in my life, when there's pain, when there's failure, then these are the opportunities to get better, to learn, and to grow. And not to push back at that, but to accept it. Just to say yes to fear, to problems and uncomfortable situations. Accept them, because this is where business will pick up. All right, now goal number 6 is to publish books for my content and sell my artwork. Now, this is going to be a new thing as well for this year. All those previous years that I had all those Kindle publishing failures but I learned many lessons, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that with my content, this content that I've been putting out for the last year or two. And I'm going to go ahead and put it into a book format. I'm writing a lot more. I'm going to get I'm going to get different websites to go ahead and write articles for me for ideas that I have in my head. I'm going to make them a little outline and say, write an article on this, and I'm going to include that into this podcast. I'm going to make that into books. So my goal is to make about 4 books this year, 4 separate books, 12,000 words, more or less, and put them out and see what happens, definitely. And whether it's successful or not, I want to continue to do this. I heard in a recent podcast where James Altucher, he interviewed Tim Ferris for his new book, his Tribe of Mentors book, and Tim said something really cool. He said that he and Mr. Altucher were going back and forth. He said James Altucher told him, Tim, you told me to go all in on the podcasting, and then you're over here publishing books. And Tim said, see, with the podcast, I kind of explore. And with the books, it's kind of a report. So I found that fascinating, and I want to go ahead and really apply that to my own content, except where, like I said, I would go and just try all these things with the podcast, and it's a thing that resonates with you, the listener, or it's something that I really like, really, really enjoy, then I'm going to go ahead and put that into a book. Now, that's goal number 6. And also, I also said sell my artwork. This was inspired by YouTuber Planet Alissa, who I've learned from and I've watched from time to time. And she's putting her artwork, or she's putting content on Zazzle and Redbubble. And this is not some huge income stream. I tried to get into Amazon by merch by Amazon, but I think I got in. No, I know I got in, and then I didn't use it, and then they kicked me out, and now I can't get back into it. So, whatever. I'm going to go ahead, and I still like to draw all the time. If you visit the blog, you'll see that I draw from time to time, and I make little videos of my stuff that I draw. I'm going to start putting that artwork up on Zazzle and Redbubble and see if, that can become another income stream there. Now, goal number 7 is to teach a free dance hall class at least twice in 2018. So that's teach 2 different free dance hall classes. Like I did it late last year, which was one of the things that I was afraid to do, and I did it. And I want to go ahead and do that at least a couple more times in the new year. Goal number 8 is to grow the reselling, expand into Etsy, Poshmark, and even do a little bit of Amazon Merchant Fulfilled, not Amazon FBA. And I'm going to just continue doing the reselling, but like I said, expand it to different channels. Those 3 that I mentioned. I'm still going to, everything that I get, I pretty much still put in the eBay store. But if it's something that's clothing specific, I'll double list that in Poshmark. If it's some little artsy thing, which I like to pick those things when I'm thrifting, I'll put that on Etsy. If I buy something at a GameStop, or if I buy something at a Toys R Us, or I buy something at my local CVS, and I think it's pretty cool, I could put that on Amazon Merchant Fulfill. So that's going to be happening as well in 2018. Goal number 9, and this one is one of the biggest goals for me, because it's something that I struggle with from time to time when I'm feeling overwhelmed with all the stuff that I want to do. And goal number 9 is to not quit on reselling, on the podcast. Don't quit on dancing, on artwork, on publishing. Take breaks when needed. I've really had to remind myself plenty of this recently, as I've gone into the new year and I wrote down my goals, and I was like, my goodness, look at all the stuff I'm signing up for. Is it just too much? And I wanted to quit the reselling at one point and just stick with the podcasting. There's even days when I just want to let me just buy a video game system, sit in front of the TV, and just play video games for hours. But the genie is out of the bottle. I mean, I really thought about it, and I thought, if I did that, I wouldn't be happy. I'm happy doing what I'm doing now. And it's a lot for just one person sometimes. But I'm really like this kind of fills me, you know, and I feel like if I wasn't doing this, like I said, I would just be depressed. I'd just be inside playing video games, watching a ton of TV, and probably overweight and probably sick. So I'm so glad that I'm not choosing that path. And this goal is a reminder of that, is to not quit. Not quit like I have on reselling in the past, like I have on Kindle publishing in the past. I think back, with mistakes and all, if I had not quit on and gotten rid of my eBay store where I had, like I've mentioned many times before on this podcast, almost 600 items. I at one point with the Kindle publishing, when I first started it, and I was doing it so completely wrong, I had like almost 20 books on Kindle publishing. If I hadn't quit, where would I be now? I think I would be a lot more successful with those avenues, even with mistakes, because you got to make mistakes to learn to do it right. So I wish I wouldn't have failed, and I wish not I failed. I'm glad I failed, but I wish I wouldn't have quit. Quitting is the thing that I wish I didn't do. But you live and learn, and moving forward, not quitting is super, super key to all the stuff that I'm trying to do. Even if I'm doing it at a snail's pace, the key thing is to not quit. Just take a break when needed. Goal number 10, and this one may be controversial, but more sex workers and no girlfriend, meaning more prostitutes and no girlfriend. In the last 2-3 months, and I'm putting something together to document that, but I just been all more about like sex workers and girlfriend and the dating and all that focus that I put on it in 2017. I just feel like, oh my gosh. And I'm not saying I'm not going to ever revisit that, but man, that's just so much work, as opposed to just paying somebody, let me have a half an hour to an hour of a good time, and then when I'm horny again, I'll go and do that again. So that's going to be a goal for 2017. So now goal number 11 is to reach out to friends and family every other week. Before, the goal was to reach out to them at least once a month, but every other week is a little bit better. Like I said, family and friends, they're not going to be around forever. We're all on borrowed time. So it's important to reach out to people and just tell them that you love them, and tell them that you're thinking about them and you want to go ahead and spend time with them, of course. Goal number 12 is to make more 1 to 2 minute dance videos. I want to do this more often. I did one little video at the end of in December, and I haven't done any since, but I definitely want to do this more often. This will be like a promotion as well for the free dancehall class later in the year, but and also it'll just sharpen my dancing. The big reason for me wanting to continue to dance. I love to dance. I love to dance at parties. It's one of my passions in life. Social dancing, 100%. But like I've mentioned before, the teaching the dance hall class and doing these 1 to 2 minute like promo videos. I think most people on social media that have known me for years know me from two places. It's either from a job that I used to work at, but the majority know me from dancing in a party or something like that. And for years, I just wouldn't use that. I just would be like just wanting to push whatever it is that I want to push. If it's there, then use it. That's the whole thing. And the teaching of the dancehall class is the whole invest, learn, teach. And then you become a better teacher. You become a better student when you're teaching it and you're seeing that reflection from the student. And then you're kind of getting that back and forth that makes you grow as a teacher, makes you grow as a dancer. So I want to go ahead and make more 1 to 2 minute videos to promote those upcoming dancehall classes. And the final goal for 2018, I was about to say 2013, the final goal number 13 for 2018 is to continue my education, and do so through reading books, listening to podcasts, and watching videos. I made this change this year, and I went back and forth on it, but then I just recently made that same decision again, where I actually got rid of my bicycle. And the reason why I got rid of my bicycle is because I've enjoyed so much walking and listening to podcasts. It's been one of the biggest it's almost like if when I go to school, I'm going to school when I'm doing that. When I'm listening to a podcast and walking, I love it, because if it's something where 9 times out of 10 it's more of an educational thing, and other times it's just like I like to listen to a wrestling thing and just like kind of turn my brain off. But I'll stop and I'll take notes, or I'll dictate something. The iPhone is an amazing device. I've mentioned that just a million times. I use it for everything. But I'll stop, I'll dictate some notes, or I'll take down some notes right in the iPhone from, listening to the podcast, and then I'll use that as content on here, or just wherever on the blog, or for whatever. So truly, podcast listening, like listening to these podcasts, has been amazing. Out of having Netflix and Amazon Prime, the thing that I watch the most is YouTube, and I have a YouTube Red subscription, and that thing has paid itself over, and so many times over, because of what I've learned from using that. And the reading of the books, it's been one of the biggest life changes for me in the last 2 to 3 years, has been reading books. And it's improved my vocabulary. It's improved my writing. Reading books has just been truly tantamount in my improving of myself. So the reading of the books, I love it. I so love it, and I'm so glad that I have eyes, that I have a brain, that I can understand these things. Thank you, God, for all these precious gifts. But those are my 13 goals for 2018. I want to hear, of course, about one of your goals for 2018. I leave all my social media stuff in the show notes for this episode. Please hit me up. Let me know what you think. There's a voicemail number, there's an email, there's all, like I said, all the social media links. And if you enjoy this content, if you want to support me, of course, please rate, subscribe, review. All the links for that are in the show notes. Do all your eBay and Amazon shopping at the same prices as you normally shop. Just take the links, or go through the links in the show notes. Once again, that'll support me. That'll support this podcast. And that's it for this episode. On the next episode, we're going to be reviewing a movie from a galaxy far, far and away, and how it's been so polarizing to some people, which is probably the most polarizing movie of this series. And it's going to be a very interesting review. That's going to be in the next episode. And this is the Improve and Have Fun podcast. Check out the website, which is improveandhavefun.com, for a lot more. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.